good enough. It's coming out this time. It's taxing the government, telling the government, okay, this is what we want to do to make the league a better one. So I feel it's something that we can achieve, but putting it in the hands of private individuals, it's not going to take us anywhere. You know, these are things that has to be monitored, because if you just hand it over to some individuals and say, okay, do this, we're still going to be where we are. You know, I just feel the government has to really put high in these things. These things have to be done. Like the infrastructure you talked about, going to watch the games, I'm sure when you go to watch some of the games, it's just like...
It's a turn off, right?
No, I mean, it's not...
Because I was going to...
It's not so bad. I mean, we've been to Sanya Abacha Stadium. We know it's okay. You know, Uyo, of course, where the Super Eagles, they new home. We know it's okay. The Abuja National Stadium, said the fact that sometimes the pitch can be very horrific.
Come on.
I'm talking about, I mean, we've got the structure put in place, but the thing is, maintenance is a big problem. And also the fact that when you have some stadium, after they've been built, people just look at only the pitch, forgetting that you have other facilities in it. If you go to the indoor sport, okay, that's basketball.
They all have to be maintained.
But they all have to be maintained. And what I love about this is that, you know, what Diko mentioned, he said the CBN governor was even at the summit, you know, when he was giving his own presentation, making his own presentation and all that. The policymakers are there, so they understand what it means to actually, you know, fund different, sector of the economy. So if you want to, you know, diversify your economy, take it away from oil and, you know, bring in other aspect of it, then sports will have to be one of the major aspects, not just entertainment and agriculture alone, but you have to look at sports, and you know you're going to make money out of it. England is an example. We all know that. Spain also, they're making a lot of money. South Africa, I mean, Tayo, we're watching Orlando Pirates and, you know, the club, the development and all that together, you know, on Wednesday morning. And we saw, you know, what they've been able to transform the club into.
That's
South Africa.
Yeah.
Precisely.
League.
So we're not talking about England anymore. So I think it's gone beyond just, you know, building a stadium and pay wages of players, and that's it ends there. But you can actually earn money, you know, for clubs.
On the way.
All right. Before we go to basketball, you have a couple of tweets.
Yeah, well, a couple of tweets. And interestingly, we've had Heartland fans on the show already today. I've got tweets here from Kwara United fan as well, too. Who is Shia? This thing is refreshing on me right now, so I'll get back to that tweet later. But she's just glad to have Kwara United back in the Premier League, especially after ABS went down. So there's top flight football to look forward to.
Still in that region.
Totally understandable. Let's move on to basketball straight away now. Basketball, Cecilia, were you around?
Okay, I started from the beginning, but then...
You didn't wait till the end. You missed out. The Tigers went all the way to the finals against all odds. You saw how the preparations were. But the story coming out of FIBA this morning is Nigeria still the #1 playing basketball nation in Africa. No surprises, even though they lost to Tunisia in that final.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, because if you check the points we had before that time, we dropped like 10
That's in the world.
Points and all that. But then, at the end of the day, it's the fact that that points that we gathered over time was even the one that saved us. That kept us there to retain the spot. But then another thing we need to watch is the fact that the new FIBA ranking that is out now, it's not going to be like based on the final tournament ranking. It's going to be based on the games you play. Home and away, your friendlies and everything is going to be put in together. So I think D-Tigers just have to watch it now. Then, okay, this is what we have here. The top teams.
Let's like, I don't know if this surprises you or you're happy. I mean, I grew up in an area where Angola was always on top of Nigeria. But it's good now that I'm seeing Angola below us. I'm very happy.
Yeah, you know, we talked about this before the Afro basketball. You know, with the whole problems they had, they went there, they still got to the final, and they did very well, even though they lost to Tunisia in the final. But still, being on top of Angola gives you joy, you know. For years, Angola dominated the whole thing. You just need to keep it, just continue with the team and just play more games and, you know, get prepared for the World Cup.
But really, I don't know if I can quickly ask you this. Does all of this rankings, does it reflect on our game? Our domestic game? And that's the question. Everybody's does all of these improvements and everything, does it really reflect on the domestic game?
Well, to me, it doesn't really reflect. You know, it doesn't really. I don't believe so, because the domestic game, if you follow it, you see so many. It's just like, you know, they just come play these games. Not much. We don't have much follow-up even on the domestic games, you understand? They don't go that far. We want to play the games, we have to rely on foreigners. We just call the professionals to come. But I think the domestic game, they need to work a lot on the domestic game, because our domestic game, I don't think our basketball is not that bad. It's not that bad. We know the whole problem they've been having with the federation and everything. We just hope it's over now.
So
and
more work needs to be done.
More work needs to be done, because I still believe we have some, sometimes when I go to this court, when I see some guys
Incredible talent,
it was just like, man, this guy is worthy to be in that team, but he's not there yet.
But I think we had 2 players making the final court on this one, and they played
yeah.
very well. Which was
more
really
work needs to be
interesting.
done. A lot of talent out there. So that's it for the Tigers. Next up for them is the 2019 FIFA qualifiers, round 1. Nigeria's in Group B along with Uganda, Rwanda, and Mali. So preparations. The last time around wasn't good enough. Hopefully this time it's a lot better than what we had. Okay, that's it. Let's move on now from basketball. I was talking about a few tweets earlier. I found the tweets now from Frankie. She's very happy that Kwara United, they're back in the Nigerian Professional Football League. And she's also saying special thanks to Michael Ohanu Atampo, highest goal scorer in all competitions. So they've got a quality player on their hands right there. So